Hello everyone, welcome to Naval's channel. Today we'll talk about the astrological signs in Vedic astrology. Now, in the previous videos, I made two playlists, right? I made one playlist for houses in astrology, then another one I made for planets in astrology. Now, I do not think we need to make another playlist for signs in astrology, right? Starting off from Aries all the way up to Pisces. I do not think we need that. Because in order to understand how a sign behaves, we need to understand the owner of that sign. Each sign has its owner defined, right? Aries has Mars, then Taurus has Venus, all the way up to Pisces is owned by Jupiter. So how do you understand, how do you conclude the result of a planet sitting in a particular sign in a particular house? You need to understand the relationship of that planet which is sitting in a sign with the owner of that sign. For example, Mercury is sitting in Aries in the first house. How do you say what's the person is going to be? First house represents the brain, right? I made a video on that. If you want to know more about the first house, go check out that video. So first house is the brain. Now it's the sign of Aries in the first house. Mercury is sitting in there. Mercury and Mars are friends. They are neutral to friends relationship with each other. So Mercury is going to give favorable results there. Now, if a Saturn comes into the first house in the same sign, Saturn is not friends with Mars. They are both enemies. So Saturn will be feeling irritated, more insecure in the sign of Mars, in the sign of Aries. So technically, to need to understand how a person is going to, or how a planet is going to be behaving in a particular sign, you just need to understand how the owner of that sign behaves. Just think of it as a real world, right? You personally go into someone's house. If you are friend with the owner of the house, or how owner treats you in their house, you will be feeling happy. You will be giving favorable results. And on the vice versa, if the planet or if you go into someone's house you are enemy with, or they do not think you as a friend, then you will not be able to give favorable results. The planet will be irritated and will not be able to give the positive results. So the negative side of the planet comes into picture. Same thing goes with exaltation and debilitation, right? Let's say Venus is exalted in the sign of Pisces, in the sign of Jupiter. Jupiter is deep friend of Venus. So Venus gives very good results when sitting in the sign of Pisces. But on the other hand, in the sign of Virgo, Venus is debilitated. That means if Venus is sitting in the sign of Virgo, its powers will be reduced. The Venus will not be able to give favorable results. It will feel more insecure. It won't be feel empowered from the owner of the sign, right? So to understand the sign, as I'm kind of repeating myself, you just need to understand the owner and the relationship of the planet sitting in there with the owner, right? So what I will do is I will put all the information in the description of the video with all the signs, astrological signs and their respective owners, and then the relationship of those owners with other planets. So you just need to know if a planet is sitting in a sign and the planet is friendly with the owner of the sign, the results is going to be positive, right? Now, which section of the result is going to be, that depends on the house. So for example, if Saturn is sitting in the sign of, let's say, Mercury, right? Mercury and Saturn are good friends. So Saturn considers Mercury as a friend. Mercury considers Saturn as neutral. So they are not enemies. The results are going to be favorable. Okay, so let's say Saturn is sitting in the sign of Mercury in the third house, right? Third house is, let's say there's a sign of Gemini in there, and it's Aries ascendant person in astrology in Kundli, and then Saturn is sitting in the third house. Saturn will give good results. Saturn will make the speech. Now, think of it. Think the results in that manner. That you are driving a car, right? Car is made by Mercury. Car is Gemini, right? And you are Saturn. The driver is Saturn. The owner of the car, the manufacturer of the car, not the owner per se, but the manufacturer of the car is Mercury. So Gemini shows your communication, right? But how the communication will be, that will be dependent who is driving that car, right? Because the car shows communication skills. Gemini shows communication skills. Third house shows communication skills. Your younger siblings, your negotiation skills. But who is driving the communication? The driver of the car, right? Who is sitting in there? Saturn. So Saturn will slow down the communication. The person with Saturn in third house in the sign of Gemini are very good speakers, because Saturn is friend with Gemini, friend with Mercury, owner of Gemini. So it will give good results. The person speaks very calmly, very patiently, and the cadence of the person's speech is very good. They do not speak in a very hurry manner, or they don't speak very fast. Okay, so similarly, if let's say Mars, right? Mars is sitting in the sign of, I can take any, like Aries, owner of the house. And in the first house, let's say, first house shows brain. Now, third house showed communication. That's why I said that communication portion of that thing is going to be impacted. Now, here, Mars is sitting in Aries in the first house. That means first house is brain. Brain is the one we're going to be considering when making prediction, or making the our prediction through for the nature of the person, how the person is going to behave. So Mars shows Martian power, physical power. Now, how is Mars going to do in sign of Aries? Its own house. Like the manufacturer of the car and the owner of the car. The person who is driving the car has also manufactured it in that manner. And then it's the brain of the person whose chart is being studied. So the people shows Martian qualities by default in their brain. They speak very straightforward, like a Martian power, right? If you want to know that, just go back to the videos and look at the Mars in astrology. I created a video on explaining what Mars symbolizes. Mars shows your Martian power. Your Mars is like an army general. Those people are really good at physical fighting. They are really good at oratory, debates also, arguments also. They are little more aggressive. We'll need to look into the placements of other planets who are looking at it. But now, is it gonna be positive aggressive or negative aggressive? How are you gonna say that, right? Like there are sportsmen who are really aggressive, but they channelize their aggression into the right direction, and then win for their teams or for their country. As Mars is in the sign of Aries, unless it's expected by negative planets, it's going to give positive results. It's going to show that the person who is aggressive in the right manner, it's not aggressive to kill people, but to save people, to win competitions within the rules, right? So that's how you will make the judgments based on how the planet is placed in a certain sign. Just look at the owner of that sign. You do not need to go into what the sign symbolize, or what is the symbol of that sign, because every sign has a symbol also. Like Aries has the symbol of a wild deer hunting into the jungle, or Scorpio is like a scorpion, right? Pisces are fishes. Do not go into that detail, because that's not really needed to make general predictions in astrology. You can study for those by yourself, or if you have any questions on that, do reach out to me through YouTube comments. Okay, And if you want me to make this video in Hindi language, do let me know in the comments also. So I will film this video, same topic in the Hindi language. Okay, so this was my analysis on the astrological signs. As I said, I will drop information about the planets and their relationship with other planets in the description section below. So if you have any questions on that, just do let me know and feel free to drop a comment. Okay, if you like the video, subscribe to my channel, and then just stay updated on the future videos. Okay, thank you.